talkradio.com, on the AM560 mobile app, on your Alexa-powered smart speaker, and on TuneIn, iHeart, and on Odyssey. Now, from the Signature Bank Studios, this is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson. Only the biggest stories, only the biggest guests, and only the biggest opinions. This is AM560, The Answer.
Hey! We're going to rock down to Electric Avenue. Hey! Amy Jacobson here. John Anthony from Dan Proft. I don't even think I've mentioned your name yet.
No, that's okay. I'm irrelevant.
I'm sorry.
I'm not Dan Proft. So.
No, you're in for Dan Proft today. Dan will be back on Monday.
I can't wait.
You will be on the air tomorrow from 4 to 7 for Black and Right Radio.
That's
and
right.
you also have you have a new website.
Yeah, merchandise store. Don't say www though.
No.
blackandrightradio.com.
blackandrightradio.com. And
You can, my shirt.
well, tell us what you're...
Masculinity is not toxic. Black and Right Radio.
Okay.
I got stuff like that and just mugs and T-shirts. And, our next guest hasn't purchased anything, but that's okay.
Oh, my, you monitor your website to see who's buying
No,
stuff?
I just know I haven't seen his name. I haven't had to mail it to him.
Oh, okay. Well, with that, this sounds like a throwdown. Let's welcome back to the program Thomas Devore. You can follow him on Twitter at Thomas Devore 76, Devore Law Offices, LLC. Good morning, Mr. Devore. How are you?
Good morning, Amy. Hello, John.
What's up, brother?
So
Not much, man.
a lot of people are confused. I mean, we had the U.S. Supreme Court, they left the Illinois assault weapons ban in place. So what's next, and does this have to do, what are we talking about here?
It was the Naperville case that the U.S. Supreme Court was considering, but the fact that they left that injunction in place is really insignificant in the grand scheme of things. It's more procedural than it is substantive. You can't glean from them doing that they believe that the law, will pass constitutional muster. That's, of course, what Governor Pritzker wants to put out there in his propaganda because it suits his narrative. But clearly the only reason that they did that is because they want to give the courts of appeals, the Seventh Circuit in this instance, a chance to actually do a thorough review and to, render a decision in this case consistent with their precedent that they've set in the Bruin case most recently. So that's all you can take from that. There's really no more than a procedural decision on their part to not intervene at this early stage, and they've not done it in this case. They didn't do it in another case either. So, they want the appellate courts to get this right before it comes back to them.
So as it stands right now, if I go to Naperville, can I buy an AR-15 style rifle and a large ammunition magazine?
You cannot.
Okay, but that's just in Naperville, or is it the whole state?
It's the whole state unless you're one of the 7,000 people that I represent. If you're one of the 7,000 people I represent, you can go buy whatever you want.
Yeah.
Oh. Do you want more people, more plaintiffs on your lawsuit?
No, I've got enough. Thank you.
This eerily reminds me of The Masks.
Yeah.
Doesn't it? Because you had how many parents and kids were you representing?
I don't know. There was 146 school districts we sued, but there were hundreds of parents and thousands of kids. But, if you paid attention to the legislature, now the General Assembly in Illinois is trying to do a gut and replace bill on a law to say that if you're going to challenge the constitutionality of something, you have to do it in Cook County or in Sangamon County. That's a direct, shot at me because they don't like the fact that there are judges in this state that won't just pander to the Democrats, but they think they can find the pandering judges in Cook County and Sangamon County, so they're trying to pass a law that says you can't file these lawsuits anywhere but there. It's absolutely ridiculous. But
That's insane, isn't it?
That's just, Pritzker is so
Probably
power hungry.
Yeah.
yeah,
He
it's
can't
power
help
hungry, but
himself.
Yeah.
No, Pritzker's a bum. There's everybody that pays attention should know he's a bum. Just think if the Democrats had a Pritzker who was a conservative, they'd think he's a bum and a power-hungry bully too, but they don't pay any attention because he does what they like. So that's just human nature. But, Pritzker is the worst kind of politician because he inappropriately tries to push an agenda versus governing the way that, governing down the middle is what governance is all about. And Pritzker doesn't do that. That's why he's dangerous.
Right. And, Tom, if you had to prognosticate the outcome of the Seventh Circuit and what will happen to this bill, what do you think is going to happen? Because I do know at one point there was another judge that said that people could start by because I think he put a stay on whatever, I forget which court came down with the decision, but there was a small window where people could go out and buy but then another judge came in and said, nope, that's not happening, right? Because a lot of people still think that right now they can go out and buy an AR-15 or any one of the excluded guns from the list.
No, there was a judge in the Southern District of Illinois, Judge McGuinn, in the federal court that entered an injunction that was statewide. And it was in place, that injunction was in place for about a week. But then the Seventh Circuit Court of Appeals and the federal court put a stay on that order while they're considering his ruling. And so as of right now, there is no statewide injunction banning the implementation of that law. So you can't just run out and buy whatever you want. Again, unless you're one of the clients on the cases that I have in the state court. But, the federal court, the Seventh Circuit's going to consider, this issue a second time because they have the Naperville case. That's in the Seventh Circuit Court of Appeals in the federal system. And now you have the one in the Southern District of Illinois. And so the Seventh Circuit's going to have to try to sort that out. But, if they try to rule that this gun law is somehow constitutional and passes the Second Amendment, I'm highly confident that the U.S. Supreme Court will take that case up because, trying to look at it objectively, I don't know how this law survives the standards that the U.S. Supreme Court has put in place recently. As of June of 2022, the Bruin case, B-R-U-E-N, really set the new standard for Second Amendment analysis in this country for, in the federal courts. And this law clearly violates it, in my opinion, and most legal professionals that I know don't know how this law can survive that analysis, but it may take the U.S. Supreme Court to do it.
Now, Tom, there are actually 3 cases right now. Yours, whatever happened to Representative Dan Calkins' case, is that still out there?
It is, sir. The Dan Calkins case is the one, John, as you're aware, my opinion was they ran to the Illinois Supreme Court too quick because the Illinois Supreme Court is slanted 5-2 Democrat, Republican, and without me being disrespectful to Supreme Court justices, they have a political ideology, right? And that's just human nature, just like the U.S. Supreme Court. They have a political ideology, so you have to keep that into account. It doesn't mean that they'll always rule one way or another. It just means you have to consider that when you're presenting a case to them, and you have to really be thorough when you're asking them to render a decision that might be contrary to their personal ideology. In human nature, it's not a criticism. And so Dan ran that case to the Supreme Court, John, and they argued on the 16th of May. They had oral argument on that case, and so the Illinois Supreme Court's going to have to render a decision sometime soon. How long they take, I'm not sure, but yeah, that's pending in front of them right now.
Yeah. All right.
Well, do you think what's the possibility of this getting fast tracked to the U.S. Supreme Court once the seven courts of appeals makes their decision?
I think it's highly likely.
Yeah, Seventh Circuit. Yeah.
All right. So you lost the election, and a lot of people are still licking their wounds from that.
One of them.
Are you going to be running again for statewide office?
No, not anytime soon, because the reality is, Amy, is that no Republican is going to win a statewide office in Illinois until the Illinois Republican Party finds a way to get some institutional fortitude and put some structure in place. And the Illinois GOP is an absolute disaster as a collective body. And so the governor and the Democrats can rest assured that we are never, as Republicans, going to win a race unless we put some structure in place.
Amen.
And Mr. Ronner winning his race was a fluke because he had so many millions that he could buy his way through the ineptness of the Illinois GOP. So we don't have that right now. We have to do it on our own. And so, again, anybody that runs as a statewide Republican right now, their chances are so close to 0-0 because, again, we have no leadership in our party. We have no ability to put anything in place. John knows that as well.
He didn't say no. He didn't say no. He didn't say no.
And what's your buddy Darren Bailey up to these days?
I have no idea. I don't talk to Darren that much.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Oh, Amy, I'll tell you this.
Yes.
You want to go to a nice party this summer?
Sure. I love a party.
First, Johnny, you better be here.
Thomas Devore. I do know we're coming. Thomas Devore's 4th of July party. You got to make it.
Where is it?
Down at his home. On his
Where's
ranch.
Where's down at the ranch? Well, we won't give the address out. All right, I'll consider it.
Well, his address is out there. He ran for office.
Well, I know. How long is the drive?
Okay.
But you could
How long is the drive?
I'm not telling you.
4 hours.
4-hour drive.
Oh, so it's like going to St. Louis.
Yeah, pretty much.
I'm 45 minutes from St. Louis.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right.
But it's an amazing time.
Are you in Redbud? I love that town.
No, Redbud's an hour south of me.
Oh, okay. All right. Well,
Yeah.
I'll find
I'm
out
an hour
all.
south of Springfield.
Okay, I'll find out all the details
Yeah.
during the break
That's
Yeah.
my place I go to recharge.
to regroup
Yeah,
and recharge.
Johnny's got his own room.
Yeah, I do.
You have your own room?
I do.
Oh,
I go there whenever-
nice.
every time I need to recharge. I pick them up. I pick up the phone. Hey, I need to recharge. Okay, come on.
All right. I like this recharging
Yeah.
station you have.
It's great.
All right, Thomas Devore, attorney. You can follow him on Twitter at Thomas Devore 76. And Thomas Devore, follow me again on Twitter because I'm back, but I have to
All right.
re-get all my followers. I'm still at Amy Jacobson. Stop laughing. I'm still at Amy Jacobson, but I have, I think, 10 followers right now. So you could be the 11th.
Wait, let me see that.
I
right,
went
I'll
from
do it now.
38,000 to none. And all 15 years of my tweets. Why do people laugh? All 15 years of my tweets have been sucked up by some group that I'm sure got paid off by some Democratic operative. So
Wait, what's the
my Twitter
Twitter?
handle is at
Uh-huh.
Amy AMY Jacobson JACOBSON. Thank you. Do you see me now?
Oh, I see you there. There you go.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm glad we got that out of the way. And Mr. Devore joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
Connect with Dan and Amy on the AM 560 The Answer mobile app. Just text the word app to 64636 to download the app today.
Hi, I'm Martha Stewart. Every year, more than 4 million pets enter shelters here in the United States. My friends at American Humane have been helping animals since 1877. The goal is to ensure that pets have a safe shelter, especially during natural disasters. Adopting a shelter